Hello my friends, and welcome to a very fun February TBR video. At least I'm predicting it's going to be fun. We are going to be using my huge stack of TBR cards, quite a few of them here, to pick out a bunch of books for me to read in February. I do have 3 must-reads that I'm going to go over, and I am doing 2 reading challenges, or yeah, I think they're reading challenges. I don't really know. Readathons, reading, whatever they are, that I'm excited about, that will be kind of focusing on books that I'm excited to read. So we're going to start with the books that I need to read, move into the TBR cards, and go from there. I am going to be continuing my points system that I talked about in January, which I'll give you a quick, brief overview of, but I have not finished reading my January books. I like to film these videos before the end of the month, so I will tell you in my January reading wrap up if I hit my point threshold, and if not, I will need to punish myself, and I'll talk about that in my wrap up video, because I'll know by then. As of right now, I have not hit my point threshold, but there's definite possibility that I will. I will quickly go over here. So I need 10 points a month to avoid a punishment. And the punishments are not necessarily bad, but they do push me to do things that I kind of put off, like read a book over 500 pages or read a classic I've been avoiding. They're good things, but they're things that I need to be pushed to do. So I added one thing. So in the 3 points category, I get points for finishing these books. A classics over 200 pages, and a book over 500 pages. Each of those would give me 3 points. In the 2 point category, classics under 200 pages, nonfiction, and a new to me indie author. And then in the 1 point category, we've got fiction that is on my TBR. So if there's something on here that doesn't fall in the 3 or 2 point category, it gives me 1 point. Any arc that I read, or any series that I continue. So I can't start a series, but I can continue one. And if a book could give me multiple points, I'm just taking the highest tier. A book can't give me like 3 plus 2 points. It would just be the 3 points, if that makes any sense. The point system might seem weird to some people, but so far, it's only been a month, but I'm finding it very freeing. It is allowing me to read books that I want to read, but that I somehow feel kind of guilty for. I'll talk about it more in my my January wrap up. So yes, 3 books that I need to read. The first one is for the 2026 Indie Book Club that I'm hosting, and the ebook for this is still on sale. It's on sale till the 28th. So if you want to get a cheap copy instead of buying a physical copy, you can. The book we're going to be reading is Crown of Beauty and Anarchy by Aurora Bell. This also, it's got a snowy cover, very fitting for February. This is a retelling of Snow White and Queen Matilda. I have my beautiful signed copy from the author. So yeah, I've talked about this book a number of times. I've hauled it in 2 different videos because I have a hardcover and I have a paperback. Talked about it in our Indie Book Club announcement video. And it's very fitting because one of the reading challenges that I'm participating in February is Once Upon a February, and the idea behind that is fairy tale retellings. So this checks that box. I mentioned this when I hauled this book, but even the hardcover, it's got this linen look to it, but it doesn't feel like linen. I really like it. I thought it'd be fun to read the first paragraph. I like to do that in my TBR videos. Also have a beautiful bookmark to read it with, to use when I'm reading. Chapter 1 is from our main character's point of view. I need to figure out how to actually say her name. I'm gonna go with Ira for now. We are in Whiteshire, England, 1137 AD. The first paragraph is, "Today was supposed to be different," which is an intriguing way to start a book. So I will be reading it without the dust jacket on because that is my personality. I did a poll a while ago and I was surprised at how many people actually read hardcover books with dust jackets on. They're very beautiful, but they are just so slippery that they drive me nuts. I don't know how you guys can do it. But this is my first must read. And then we will be doing an Instagram chat over in my Instagram stories on the last Wednesday of February. My other must read is a book for the Read Your Bookshelf challenge for the year. And in February, the prompt is 3 or more objects on the cover. And I was really struggling. I was looking through my shelves because I wanted to pick a book that I'm really excited to read that has 3 or more objects. There are a few that are like upcoming indie book club picks that would have worked, but I want to save those for a bit. But the book I found is one that I recently purchased. It's the one you guys voted for me in December when I asked you guys to pick a book for me to purchase next. And it's Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. Because we've got a snake here, we've got some knives, we've got whatever this thing is, and we've also got some plants and things, but I feel like those are like 3 obvious objects. This is a South American fantasy, or a fantasy set in South America. Nice Victorian ladies don't run off to find legendary lost cities. One trifling little arrest shouldn't have cost Ellie Mallory her job, but it's only the latest in a line of injustices facing any educated woman with archaeological ambitions. Yeah, I am very excited to read this. This one has a very tiny font and is pretty big. It's only 450 pages. It feels bigger. There's a Before We Begin, which I'm not going to read, but it does start out, I have a confession to make, which is intriguing. But I usually like to read, okay, and then there's a prologue. I like to read the first paragraph of the first chapter, so let's get to that. Don't worry, I do actually read the other stuff when it comes to actually reading the book, just not when I'm trying to read the first paragraph or sentence for my videos. Also, this is a short one. So we're set morning, April 7th, 1898 in Whitehall, London. It was just one little riot. Is this her trifling little arrest? I hope this book lives up to my expectations. I have such high expectations for it. So there's a chance it doesn't happen, but it is a series. I don't know how many books are in it, but hopefully I love it. Oh, if I was looking for more objects and I wanted to stretch it a bit, there are some like single objects on the back here as well. Let's make it darker so you can see. There's a bat, there's a compass, there's some kind of thing there. We've got like a jaguar. So yeah, definitely works for the Read Your Bookshelf challenge, I think. That's book 2 that I need to read. Okay, and then the third book that I have to read is for my Christian nonfiction in-person book club I'm a part of. And in February, we are reading Knowing God by J.I. Packer. I actually should start this now because it's also quite big. It is, well, it's 350 pages, but it's nonfiction, so obviously that reads a little bit slower. You want to be reading it slower. Plus it's Packer. This one was originally written in 1973. And yeah, I feel like he's just, obviously he was very smart. The chapters include, part 1 is Know the Lord, the study of God, the people who know their God, knowing and being known, the only true God, God incarnate, he shall testify. Part 2 is Behold your God, God unchanging, the majesty of God, God only wise, etc. There are 22 chapters. Oh, so I should be fine to start this at the beginning of February. I'll just read a chapter a day, which looks to be between 15 and 30 pages. It's not 100%, like not very consistent, but they're not too long. So I will be reading this. Does it say what it actually is about? Paul David Tripp says, if there's one book that every single Christian should read alongside the Bible, it is this book. While many people know about God, not many people truly know him. In the modern classic, Knowing God, J.I. Packer challenges Christians to the most important pursuit of their lives, to know and be known by God. To help readers begin this pursuit, Packer establishes the importance of theological study of the Lord, examines what the Bible has to say about God and his character, and extols the benefits of knowing him. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be a little bit dense and smart, but hopefully really good. Okay, now I am doing 2 reading challenges in February. I already mentioned I'm going to be doing Once Upon a February. That is hosted by, let's see, Tales and Treats with Tay, Celestria, Paperbacks and Ponytails, Krista A. Cole, Cat Stories, and the writing Songbird. I will have them all linked below. They do have some prompts, but they also say that you just have to read a fairy tale retelling to participate. So I will be definitely at least participating with our indie book club of Crown of Beauty and Anarchy. But if at all possible, depending how the TBR cards go, I would like to add more fairy tale retellings in. So we will see. The other thing I'm going to be doing is Polarathon, which the idea behind that is reading some like winter cold fantasy. This is hosted by JD Reads, and I don't know if I've ever like officially participated, but I've always watched her videos in regards to Polarathon, and I was going into it thinking it was the entire month of February. Apparently it's only kind of like the first week, the 3rd to the 8th or something like that. That's not quite right. The 2nd to the 8th? Maybe it's just the first week. I don't really know. I'll have her video linked below. I don't know. I might extend it all month. My goal there is to just at least read a cold winter fantasy book. I mean, I have no idea if Crown of Beauty and Anarchy is cold. The cover makes it look cold. I don't know if it's set in the winter. So maybe this would count. She also does have some prompts to go with it. I am gonna kind of just play that by ear and see if that works for me. But I'm gonna try to at least read one cold, wintry fantasy story in February. So I'm gonna see if I can make that work with my TBR cards. So I have my massive stack here that have some regular prompts. There are some that are like series, arcs, and Patreon recommendations. So I'm gonna shuffle these in a second here. But in order to figure out which ones I'm picking, I have another deck that has just like a brown on it. These are the ones that tell me where I'm going to be picking cards from in my big deck here. So just gonna shuffle them a touch. And like last month, I'm allowing myself to skip some cards if I just am not feeling it. I picked a really good TBR for January, and I just want to keep doing that. I want to keep picking books that I'm excited to read. So let's take the top one off of here and see what it says. Shuffle and pick the second card. Okay, so I have to shuffle this big deck, which I needed to do anyway. So it's a few too many cards to like properly shuffle. Okay, second card. So not the first one, but the second one. Science fiction. Interesting. I don't even know if I have much for science fiction on my shelf. Let me think about this. Other than classics, which I'm not doing right now. I don't think. And then I have a science fiction fantasy type book that will be an indie book club book later in the year. Oh, actually, I think I do have one that would work, that I would be excited to read. It probably wouldn't fulfill any prompts for my reading challenges, but we'll see. So I have Beneath False Stars by S.D. Grimm. This is the first book in the Project Integration series, and it is YA science fiction. What they don't see will hurt them. The day to open the centuries-old dome gates and reintegrate genetically engineered people back into normal society has arrived. There's one caveat. Their powers must remain suppressed. Amidst this project integration initiative, hacker Riley Stevens has her whole life planned out. The plan? Prevent a second universal tech war in 2 simple steps. First, help Project Integration Phase 1 succeed, but not for the reason she pretends. Next, infiltrate the rebellion and sabotage Phase 2, the part that would grant people unbridled access to their superhuman abilities. Sounds interesting. I got this arc from Enclave. It was published last year. The first paragraph says, "My official personality flaw assessment came in today." That's right. What's with all the paragraphs just being 1 sentence long? Yeah, super intrigued. Does not work for any kind of fairy tale, does not count as like a winter fantasy book, but it does count as one I'm excited to read. So I'll give it that. Adding that to my pile. Let's see what my little deck here says to do next. Draw from the top. Okay. Where is my pile? What does this one say? A graphic novel. You know what? I think I'm gonna not listen to this. I'm gonna just keep drawing until I get one that sounds good, because I don't own any graphic novels right now that I haven't read, and I don't know if I have any of interest to me. So let's not do that one. Let's see what the next one says. A historical mystery. Okay. I'm not opposed to reading a historical mystery. This just really does not help me in what I'm trying to do here. You know what? I'm gonna ignore that one for now too. Okay, hopefully this one, 3rd time's a charm. Oh, use a random letter generator. The author's name, first or last, needs to start with that letter. Okay, let's see. My phone's over here. Do a random letter generator. Okay, let's spin the wheel here. See what letter, hopefully it's a good one, an easy-ish one. Can you see it? What letter is it going to be? What is it? What is it? I. Okay, I. I also do have my Kobo here where I could look through there. I'm gonna start with the books. Let's see, actually. I do have some wintery and fantasy ones here. Oh, that one has an author whose last name starts with I. Okay, why don't we do, it's a Cinderella fantasy with a twist. Okay, yes, let's do this. It's called Meet Me by Midnight by Janine Ippolito? I don't know. Her last name starts with an I, though. An outcast prince, a captive healer, a single night that changes her destiny. She lives a nightmare. As a mender, Rena is held captive to an endless cycle of receiving and recovering from the physical ailments of others, a cycle that led her mother to an early grave. When her father becomes deathly ill, Rena is desperate to save her only remaining family, even if it means allying with criminals and taking an illegal mission into the royal palace on the night of their greatest ball. Let's see what the first paragraph is. And I do think that this is part of a series, if memory serves me correctly. Her heart broke twice the day she found out her father was dying. Once again, a paragraph that is just a single sentence. That's a gripping first sentence. Okay, let's do that. I thought I would be harder, but that definitely worked. Okay, we haven't had to skip too many cards yet. This one says draw from the bottom. I don't know what the bottom one says. A series book, not a first book. So I can't start a series, but I could continue a series. I have a series I really want to start that I can think of that's a winter fantasy. A continuation. Oh, it's fantasy. It's not a fairy tale. It's not wintery unless part of it maybe is. But yeah, I got a book for this. This is very exciting. I'm going to read Labyrinth Wolves. So this is the second book in the Labyrinth duology. The first one was Quarter Labyrinth, one of my favorite books from last year. So every 4 years, the Labyrinth awakens. This book takes place 4 years after the first one. Our main character is Ren. The first one's kind of like Hunger Games crossed with Maze Runner type vibes. I really liked it. I really like Victoria McCombs' writing. I'm going to see if I can read the first paragraph to you or if it would be spoilery. Oh, that is so smart. Are you serious? She has a previously on Quarter Labyrinth. So like a movie or like a show. This is the second book in the series. I highly recommend starting with Quarter Labyrinth. Otherwise, some of the characters' choices in here will appear more questionable than they already are. For those who would like a quick recap, I'll do my best. I have thought and I have said before that books in a series should have this, and my mind is just blown that she has done this. More authors should do this, okay? That is very exciting. Okay, I will read that. It hasn't been that long since I read book 1, but that is a great refresher. Wow. I'm like, it's only 2 pages. It's not a huge deal, but my mind is blown because that never happens. So let's see if I can read paragraph 1. Oh yes, I can. I waited 36 days for the letter to arrive. Once again, first paragraph, 1 sentence. Wow. I'm even more excited now that there's a recap. That is just brilliant. Okay, and that will finish off the duology too, which is exciting to wrap things up. Let's go back to my cards. This one says, draw until you hit a Patreon recommendation. Okay, I don't remember what color their recommendations are, so let's just check here. Is it pink? Nope, the pink is arcs. I think it might be the blue. Let me just double check. This one's purple. Yeah, that's a series. So I need to find the like tealy blue color here. Oh, there's one. It is a book series I thought about buying, or I saw at the store yesterday when I was book shopping, but I'm on a book buying ban, and the whole series was actually pretty cheap. It's Jasper Fforde. You probably can't see it because it's a little bright in here. Okay, Jasper Fforde. So I think the first book is Thursday Next. I actually did start it years ago. I'm gonna see if my library has it here. My library has a bunch of books by Jasper Fforde, but I do not see this card. I just wrote Jasper Fforde, but I'm pretty sure it's the Thursday Next series. Oh, the first book is called The Air Affair. My library has it on audio, which I can place a hold on. Okay, they don't, maybe I can get a physical copy, but book 1, it says, meet Thursday Next. She's part Bridget Jones, part Nancy Drew, part Dirty Harry. Welcome to a surreal version of Great Britain, circa 1985, where time travel is routine, cloning is a reality, dodos are the resurrected pet of choice, and literature is taken very, very seriously. England is a virtual police state where an ant can get lost, literally, in a Wordsworth poem. Militant Baconians heckle performances of Hamlet, and forging Byronic verse is punishable offense. All this is business as usual for Thursday Next. Renowned special operative in literary detection, until someone begins kidnapping characters from works of literature. When Jane Eyre is plucked from the pages of Bronte's novel, Thursday must track down the villain and enter a novel herself to avert a heinous act of literary homicide. Yes, I started reading this years ago, before I was reading any kind of like fantasy or anything. I didn't really love it or enjoy it. I didn't get very far, but people that I have very similar taste to have loved it. So it's about time that I gave Thursday Next another chance. I'm sure my library has a physical copy. I've actually pretty sure I've seen it there. So I will get that. Let's do another one here. Draw 2 cards from the bottom and choose one. Okay, so we've got 1, 2. This is a biography or memoir or the Powerless series. Well, why don't we just keep going with a series and we'll do Powerless. So the book that I'm on is Reckless. Is that book 2? Yes, book 2 is Reckless. So it is book 2 in a series. Book 1 had definitely some Hunger Games vibes. a really cool magic system that I liked. Yeah, I don't know how much to read. Yeah, definitely can't really read anything about book 2 because that completely spoils book 1. We just barely bought book 1. My daughter did. We went on a book shopping date just yesterday. So I do have a vlog. Last week I was doing daily vlogs / I'm like in the middle of one right now. If you want to see our book shopping extravaganza where I didn't buy any books on a book buying ban, but we bought book 1 and book 1.5. So now I will read book 2. I have lower expectations for the rest of the series going in, but I really enjoyed book 1. Let's pick another. I don't know how many books I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. Let's do another. Draw from the bottom. Something from my 2026 fiction TBR. Where is got my reading journal here. What do I have on my fiction TBR that could, oh, interesting. Okay. Interestingly enough, Labyrinth Wolves is on my fiction TBR, and so is Beneath False Stars. So I could be doing pretty good here. I have a couple winter fantasy, a couple retellings. I think that I'm gonna do Before Beauty. I think I have that book. I got it when it was free. So this is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's by Brittany Fichter, and it's the Classical Kingdoms Collection, book 1. What can I tell you about it? I have heard good things about this book from a couple of different people, so hopefully it lives up to my expectations. Can the accursed prince and broken beauty move beyond their hatred for one another, not only to break the curse and save their kingdom, but to find love as well? Prince Everard's father forged him into a warrior. Upon the king's death, however, Everard loses himself in his pain and brings a dark curse upon himself and the great fortress that has long guarded the people of Destin. The prince's sin doesn't solely affect those of his citadel, however. Isabel, the daughter of a local merchant, has suffered the prince's hasty temper before, and it changed her life forever. So when Everard's curse cuts off his people's source of protection, and he demands that she, a crippled commoner, help him break it, her shock and horror are rivaled only by her indignation and even stronger desire to protect her family. So let's try the first paragraph. Everard, I know you are here, son. I can feel you. And that's the first paragraph. Not quite as good as some of the others, but I've heard good things about that one, and it's on my 12 books to read in 2026 TBR, so that's helpful to be making progress there. Let's do 2 more books. What's this one say? Shuffle and pick the 6th card. Okay, let's just split the deck a few times because it's so hard to shuffle this. Okay, the 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A book set in the current season. Okay, so a winter book. This is great. Definitely what I need. Do I have one on my shelves? I'm going to pull up I have a collection of books that I want to read in the winter here, and I will see winter TBR. Oh, I could do that one. There is Snow So White by C. Gockel. So it would be a Snow White retelling, I'm assuming, and I'm assuming it's set in winter. Once upon a future time, in a city of steel, concrete, and magic, a wicked queen trapped a mighty warrior with a curse. So we're in the village of Summer, far from the city. Cherry knows nothing of the evil spell. Her home is a safe, magical place. The Fae travel freely along its roads. Magical humans and animals are welcome, and everyone is hidden from the queen's sight by Jack Frost, the local ghost, who blurs the queen's mirror with snow and ice. But when Jack's spell begins to crack, the queen's eyes fall on Summer. Interesting. Let's go to the first paragraph. Oh, this is one of those ones where obviously I transferred it when I first got my Kobo, and like the font is so massive. I just need to take it off of here and reformat it and put it back on. Not a big deal. But the first paragraph looks really long. Pain screamed up Cherry's arm and shoulder, and she was flung against the bus with teeth rattling force, breath rushing out of her, knees going weak from the shock of it. That wasn't that long, but it looks long when the font is huge. So that's great, and that is also the first book in a series, the Urban Magic and Folklore series. That one should work. I'm just guessing it's wintery based on the fact that it's Snow White. I could be wrong. One more. We're gonna do one more. Draw 3 cards from the middle, and then I get to pick one. So let's just go middle-ish. 1. Okay, let's see what this says. Use a random color generator, then that color needs to be on the cover. Has water on the cover, or a classic. Classics are not really going to work with what I'm wanting this month. Yeah, I'm probably going to read a classic anyway, but I'm not choosing it. Has water on the cover or a color generator. Why don't we do a color generator? See what color it lands on, and if I don't like the color, we'll do a water one. Random color generator. Okay, let's generate a color. Oh, that is very bright pink. Not impossible though. Oh my goodness, Suspended in the Stars on my shelf there totally has that pink. But that's for August or September. So I think I want to stick with something that is either fantasy fairy tale-esque. I'm going to take a look. Oh, I actually might have an idea here. I love that my Kobo is in color. The color is definitely not like as vibrant as the actual colors are, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to do this one. It's The Werewolf of Whitechapel. I don't think the pink is probably quite as vibrant as the color I picked, but I think that's okay. I don't know, I got this one for free a while ago, and I just really liked that pop of pink. If you were to get a pop of pink as well, there is a short story that I would recommend. I'm just gonna quickly pull it up because I can't remember what it's called. It's by Jennifer Dyer, and it's called One Night at Hilltop Manor. That's a really good, it's just a short story. It's really good. But let's look at The Werewolf of Whitechapel. I don't know, I'm kind of like werewolf shy after reading There Will Be Wolves, but if I know going in, that's a different story. What do I know about this here? Oh, murder, monsters, and disreputable Victorian lady's maid. I like the Victorian time period. It's another one of those books that I obviously transferred over before I knew how to adjust the font settings, and it has the opposite problem. The description is like minuscule. A killer stalks the grimy streets of Whitechapel, but Scotland Yard seems determined to turn a blind eye. With one look at her best friend's corpse, Liz Sharp already knows the truth. The killer is a werewolf. No one important will hold a werewolf accountable. After all, the monsters rule Europe. Certainly no one will believe a werewolf victim like Liz. The very scars that make her determined to investigate. Sal's death also condemn her to the sort of female who'd sell her blood for easy money. Okay, I don't know where I came across this. No idea if the content is any good. But the cover, the Victorian time period, that's what caught my eye. A great deal of useful information may be gleaned in the first unguarded moment of meeting a new acquaintance, especially when one's face has been disfigured by a werewolf. Okay, I'm gonna put that one down as my book for that color. So I have quite a few ebooks, not as many physical books, unless I get a few of them from the library. This is all that I have for physical books that I own. I caught my hair in there. But I am excited about all the books that I pulled. It looks like it'll be a great reading month. I hope to enjoy the February and the Polarathon. Are you guys doing any reading challenges? Kind of books are you reading in February? I would love to hear it. And let me know if you have read and enjoyed any of the books that I plan on reading this month.